President Obama says Syria has, quote, crossed the red line when it comes to allegations that country used chemical weapons against rebels.
Now the administration has authorized limited aid to those rebels, and some members of Congress say the president may be crossing a different line. 10 on Your Side military reporter Art Kahn joins us now to explain. Art?
Anita, the line you're referring to was drawn in 1973 and has become known as the War Powers Act. That legislation, passed at the close of the Vietnam War, was designed to prevent America's leaders from committing our military to long conflicts without a declaration of war or congressional approval. There is concern that the president may be in violation of this accord by providing assistance to the Syrian rebels. With the conflict in Syria continuing to escalate, the exact nature of the assistance authorized by the Obama administration is still unclear. According to the Associated Press, U.S. officials said the aid would include a range of small arms, such as assault rifles, shoulder-fired rocket-propelled grenades, and other anti-tank missiles.
We're going to keep working for a Syria that is free from Assad's tyranny.
It is not the King's Army. It is not to one person, regardless of who's in office from a political standpoint, to have the unilateral authority to engage.
In a telephone interview from his office in Washington, Virginia's 2nd District Congressman Scott Ridgell says the president's decision to arm the rebels violates the War Powers Act. That legislation essentially requires 3 key elements before the commander-in-chief can commit this country to a military conflict. First, the president must consult with Congress. Second, it applies to all circumstances where American military forces are to be deployed, or where the number of forces already deployed is to be significantly increased for combat purposes. Third, the president must report to both the Senate and the House within 48 hours.
I do believe the president needs to come to Congress and call us into joint session and explain his plan and what he's trying to accomplish. We shouldn't be putting American troops in harm's way without Congress's approval.
Virginia Senator Tim Kaine believes some arms shipments might fall short of the War Powers Act requirements. However,
I think the president is certainly wise to be looking at strategies that don't involve American troops, but I still think the consultation with Congress is important.
yeah, it's also interesting to note that Congressman Ridgell sponsored an amendment last Friday that passed in the House with bipartisan support, declaring the president's decision to provide military assistance in Libya 2 years ago a violation of the War Powers Act. Ridgell's position on Syria appears to have bipartisan support as well, at least with Virginia's congressional delegation. Live from the newsroom, Art Kahn, 10 on Your Side.